for our region that will synchronize economic development efforts and build a stronger economy and boost job opportunities. Artex Ready, a new not-for-profit has been created to promote the value of this area's labor force and its unique resources located along the rail and interstate corridors. Your being here today proves that you recognize the necessity and urgency of this effort. So thank you for that. And our prestigious stage guests symbolize the support at state level from both Arkansas and Texas. Please help me welcome, in a rare and unique opportunity, the Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson and Texas Governor Greg Abbott. Also on stage with me here, former Arkansas Highway Commissioner and State Representative Chrissy Hickerson and Chancellor John Sharp, Texas A&M University System. Also along the sides, and you can just raise your hand because we split everybody up amongst state lines because we're not picking sides today. So we have Arkansas Senator Jimmy Hickey, Texas Senator Brian Hughes, Arkansas Representative Carol Dalby, Texas Representative Gary Van Dever, Katie Comer for U.S. John Cornyn's office, Robin Bass and Charles Jordan from U.S. Representative John Ratcliffe's office, and our county judges, Miller County Judge Roy McNatt and Bowie County Judge James Carlo. I also want to recognize and thank the following area high school bands for attending today and their outstanding performances. Texarkana, Arkansas High School. Texarkana, Texas High School. A little going. Liberty Islo High School. New Boston High School. And Pleasant Grove High School. Okay, we have an exciting agenda planned for you today, but I promise we're going to keep it short. To kick off the event, I would like to invite our mayors up to the stage to assist us in a historic ceremony symbolizing the new era for our region. Please welcome Texarkana, Arkansas Mayor Ruth Penny Bell and Texarkana, Texas Mayor Bob Brookman. I think you will all agree that this state line is a distinguishing identifier of Texarkana. It makes us special and it makes us unique. It brings us together and it challenges us to compete, inspires us, some mostly to friendly rivalries, but sometimes often it's a divider. So today, just temporarily, for symbolic purposes only, not permanently, but we are going to ask with the assistance of our mayors to unify this region and see us as a iconic state line unified. So we're going to take down this dividing force. Mayors, on the count of 3, let's take down the divide. 1, 2, 3. Now unified, and we can all see better. Please help me welcome 2 of our distinguished guests who will formally introduce our governors in alphabetic order. Chrissy Hickerson and Chancellor John Sharp are icons in this region. They have made monumental contributions both to infrastructure and education at the local, state, and national level. Chrissy Hickerson, who will introduce Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson, is the epitome of a leader who has served our community, locally, regionally, and statewide, looking out for our community's well-being during decades of outstanding service as a volunteer and in elected and appointed offices for the state of Arkansas, including state representative and Arkansas State Highway Commissioner. Chrissy, we thank you for your service. Chancellor John Sharp will then introduce Governor from Texas, Greg Abbott. But first, a little information on Sharp. John Sharp was appointed Chancellor of Texas A&M University System by the Board of Regents in 2011. In 2017, Governor Greg Abbott named him as Commissioner of the Governor's Commission to Rebuild Texas. This is an effort dedicated to rebuilding the critical public infrastructure along the Gulf Coast in the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey. As Chancellor, Sharp leads the Texas A&M University System, one of the nation's largest higher education systems, consisting of 11 universities. Enrollment is estimated at over 152,000 students, of which Texarkana A&M is a part. Our deepest thanks to you also, Chancellor. And Chrissy, if you will please come introduce Governor Hutchinson.
Thank you, Sonia. Are y'all ready? Well, it's a little warm out here, and Dean Barry told me I had 2 minutes. Now, my husband said that I couldn't do anything in 2 minutes, so I'm out here to prove him wrong, and I'm going to be quick. This is a fantastic crowd, a great showing to welcome our 2 governors and show our strong support of this innovative economic development program that's destined to change the course of progress for Southwest Arkansas and Northeast Texas. And I just want to say a big thank you to this Artex Ready Board of Directors for pulling together so many entities with the unified goal of bringing jobs and prosperity to our region. Thank you, Board of Directors, for being the visionaries who don't just dream and talk about a rosy future, but actually are stepping out and stepping forward to make it happen. Artex Ready is definitely a model for economic development that aligns with the viewpoint of our Arkansas governor. When Asa Hutchinson was sworn in as our 46th governor in January of 2015, he immediately began fulfilling the promise he made of creating jobs and growing the economy. His very first day as governor, day 1, was spent in his office contacting a list of corporations who had expressed an interest in locating in Arkansas. He told them Arkansas was open for business, they were wanted in Arkansas, and he personally was ready to help them. And then he set about pulling together stakeholders and building coalitions and partnerships to assist in the process of landing these industries. Since that day in 2015, the Arkansas Economic Development Commission has signed incentive agreements with 391 new and expanding companies, resulting in almost 17,000 new jobs for Arkansas and new capital investment in our state of about $8 billion. This time last year, Arkansas was recognized by the U.S. Labor Department as number 2 in the nation for job creation. And today there are approximately 70,000 more Arkansans employed than were employed in 2015. Our governor has a long and celebrated career in the public sector. A graduate of University of Arkansas Law School, yay, at age 31, he was appointed by President Reagan as the nation's youngest U.S. attorney. And prior to being elected governor, Asa Hutchinson served as the director of the DEA and as the first undersecretary of the Department of Homeland Security. He also served 3 terms as U.S. Congressman from Arkansas's 3rd District. He and his beautiful wife, Susan, have 4 children and 6 grandchildren. Governor, we're so very grateful for you to be here today to mark this historic occasion, and I know all of you will join me in welcoming the governor of the great state of Arkansas, Asa Hutchinson.
No one knows more about economic development than Prissy Hickerson, being on the Highway Commission and in the General Assembly. What an incredible crowd here, Governor Abbott. This is exciting. Did anybody here from Texas? Is anybody here from Arkansas? Now let's hear it together, Texas and Arkansas. The last time we had this much togetherness was in 1975 when the Aggies, the Hogs, and the Longhorns tied for the Southwest Conference Championship. Just a little bit of history. I think this is an exciting day for me personally because I'm standing in front of this historic courthouse in which I was United States Attorney years ago and tried cases, and I've always been fond of Texarkana. And to see you united together in terms of economic development is the right thing to do. Arkansas and Texas share so many things, and we work together in so many different areas. We have a shared history, from Stephen F. Austin running for political office in Arkansas and then going to Texas for even greater opportunities, to our shared geography, to our like-kin politics perhaps, to the competition we have on the sports field. There's nothing like the bind and the history that we have between Texas and Arkansas. But today, we do not celebrate our differences or our history. We celebrate what we're going to work on together in our future, and that is economic development. I stopped on the way here. I went to a school. I went into a restaurant, and everybody you talk to, I work in Arkansas, I live in Texas. I live in Texas and work in Arkansas. It is that kind of atmosphere here. And we realize that if we're going to grow, and we are going to grow, we do it together. Woo! I recruited. That first day in office, I called a few folks, asked them to do business in Arkansas. The first call wasn't too good because it was a Japanese company and the CEO only spoke Japanese. The second call was a little bit better, 6 Hour. 1 year later, Ron Cohen, the head of 6 Hour, came and located in Arkansas after being in New Hampshire, set up a plant there in Arkansas and Jacksonville. I tell you this story because after that, small town Arkansas, Melbourne in northern Arkansas, Danville on the river, a small town, came up to me and said, "Thank you, Governor, for bringing 6 Hour because our businesses in our communities got contracts with them and we're adding employees." And it illustrates the fact that we do more together. And when we are together, we build together, we grow, we recruit together. That cooperation in terms of our workforce, which is critical and in training, and whenever we see a big industry that wants to come to Arkansas, if we combine the workforce between Arkansas and Texas in this region of Texarkana, we've got a better plate to sell. And so as we recruit, we have better opportunities together and we will all benefit from it. We will be more successful working together. And so let me conclude by saying Texarkana is at a turning point. When historians write the history, and they will write the history, they will note the vision of the leaders of today who ignored the state line and divides, and the leaders that came together and said that we will grow more through addition versus division. And that is our future, that is our present, and our growth will be our history. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. It's my great pleasure to introduce the Governor of Texas, but before I do, let me say how humbled I am to be here. I've never been in a place that had two governors on the same stage at the same time, much less state senators, state representatives, huge crowd like this. I'm kind of humbled here. You know, I feel a little bit like Elizabeth Taylor's seventh husband on a honeymoon. I mean, I know what to do. I'm just not sure I can make it exciting for you. But But it is a great pleasure for me to introduce our next distinguished guest, the 48th governor of the great state of Texas, the Honorable Greg Abbott. Governor Abbott was born in Wichita Falls, Texas, and grew up in Duncanville. After graduating from the University of Texas at Austin with a BBA in finance, he earned a law degree from Vanderbilt University. He served the people of Texas as a state district judge in Harris County, justice of the Texas Supreme Court, and as the 50th and longest serving Attorney General of the state of Texas. Under his leadership, Texas again leads the nation in job creation, due in part to successes from his first legislative session that included cutting billions in taxes, improving Texas roads, and focusing on quality education. Governor Abbott's achievements from the most recent legislative session are forging an even broader path to prosperity for more Texas families by building on safety and security, education, and economic advancement. And he's speaking as someone who is the chancellor of one of the large systems and a proud member of Texas A&M Texarkana. We are so proud of what he has given in support of higher education and public education as well. We're thrilled that he is able to join us today as Texarkana ushers in a new era of economic development. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the 48th governor of the great state of Texas, Governor Greg Abbott.
Thank you all so very much, and thank you to John Sharp. Listen, I know that it is hot out here, but let me tell you this, mark my words. It is not as hot as the Texarkana economy is about to get. I want to thank Chancellor John Sharp for his introduction, but I want to thank him even more for what he's doing for higher education in the state of Texas, including Texas A&M University, Texarkana, providing a top-quality workforce. I want to thank my good friend, Governor Hutchinson from Arkansas. It's important that everybody here know that we work very collaboratively together. We are allies together, not just today, but every single day, working collaboratively for our communities as well as our country, and together we are going to help you power the economy of the greater Texarkana area. And of course, I want to thank Sonia Hubbard as well as the entire team of economic development professionals who are working to expand economic development in this entire region. Well, I'm so proud to join you here today on the launch of READY, and I thank all of the elected officials who are here with us, as well as the community and business leaders who have made this day possible. Think about this. With Arkansas being home to one of the world's largest businesses in Walmart, with Texas being the home of 50 Fortune 500 companies, we must realize that we are competing in a worldwide economy. In that environment, economic development and job creation, they're not confined to state boundaries. Instead, they cross state lines. So as we gather today from different states, we gather for a singular purpose, and that is to emphasize the importance of this particular economic development project, as well as the importance of collaborating together. Our collective natural resources, as well as our human resources, share this entire region. People, they cross our shared border every single day to go to work, to shop, to go to school, to access health care, and so much more. This area actually is one of America's premier crossroads for trade as well as for travel. With robust infrastructure, including both rail and road, with immense land and water resources and top-notch workforce, this region is ripe for excellent economic development. In Texas, we've capitalized on a situation like this before. We seized upon it with great success on the other side of Texas, over in El Paso, when Texas combined with New Mexico as well as with Mexico in what's called the Borderplex Alliance. The combination proved to be far greater than the individual sum of the parts. It led to transformative economic development. That very same success is going to happen right here in the greater Texarkana area, and the driving force of it will be the Regional Economic Development Incorporation. Now, earlier this year, I had the opportunity to visit with some Texarkana leaders about the critical role that economic development professionals play. And I explained that they needed a formal economic development team if they're going to be able to prosper like other regions in our state. We've seen tremendous number of projects coming in to Dallas, to Houston, to Austin, to San Antonio, to large cities, but also to small communities like Longview, like San Marcos, like Arlington. And every time that I've seen one of these headquarters relocations come in or economic development take place, I find one constant, and that is a very active local economic development team. So much so that at about that same time, I received what's called the Governor's Cup. The Governor's Cup goes to the governor of the state that ranks #1 in the nation for new and expanded corporate facilities, which is a buzzword for meaning the most new economic development projects. Texas has won the Governor's Cup 6 years in a row. But here's my point. That's not really because of anything the governor has done. It's because of what the local economic development teams have done. Now that the greater Texarkana area has a high-quality, localized economic development program, it's going to be Texarkana that's going to be winning these projects, creating new jobs, expanding a very robust economy. The launching of READY makes this region poised for great success, but more importantly than any trophies or accolades, what you all are going to do is going to both change lives as well as change communities. It will mean more jobs for families, higher wages, as well as a better quality of life. So as you all march forward and expand your economy, I want you to know something for both me as well as from Governor Hutchinson. And that is, we want one thing. We want you to succeed. In fact, we need you to succeed. Because when you succeed, Texas and Arkansas will succeed. Thank you for what you do. God bless you all, and God bless both Texas and Arkansas.
Thank you, governors. Very inspiring words. I've often heard, where there's a will, there's a way. Looking at this crowd, looking at the people to the side, on the stage with us, and hear what they have to say, we clearly, we must find a way. On behalf of our Tex Ready Board, I want to thank all of you guys for coming out. This is why we have to make this work. You weathered the heat and are showing your support. I also want to thank Governor Abbott and Governor Hutchinson for their historic and symbolic efforts to be here. Fourth time in Texarkana history, and this one is definitely making history. Finally, to the countless individuals, crews, businesses, support agencies that have made this work today. This didn't just happen. There has been a stage built, a sign rigged, you got the fans, water, and so much more. It took a village to get this done in Texarkana, and once again, we have proved that we are second to none. United, we will succeed. Thank you for coming. We'll look forward to next steps.